Little known among Sri Lanka's indigenous communities are the coastal Vedas of the eastern province. Living in close proximity to the Tamil community, they have distinct practices and traditions that distinguish them from other Veda communities, such as the Dambana Vedas. Living in the eastern province has meant that the coastal Vedas too have been significantly affected by years of war and conflict. But the biggest challenge they confront today is the conflict of identity, as they struggle to survive in rural Batiklo.
A rare performance of a traditional song about the days when the Vedas were hunters and gatherers and lived side by side with nature. These are the coastal Vedas of Sri Lanka from Vakare in the Batikalo district. Their numbers are down to just several hundred, but their spirit lives on with at least a few among them. Octogenarian Pathan Kadirgama is the oldest living coastal Veda, and one of a handful that still attempts to live life the traditional Veda way. Although the coastal Vedas had long begun to assimilate with the Tamil population around them, with generations of intermarriage and interaction between the communities, it was during the IPKF presence in the late 1980s that Pathan Kadirgama and others were removed from the forests they inhabited for security reasons and placed among the residents of the area, many of whom, including the Vedas, ended up spending years in displacement camps and centers. With the war behind them, they now confront another conflict of the generations among them about keeping the Veda tradition alive. With the end of war, the remaining coastal Veda families from villages around Kurinchankulam in Vakare have been resettled with other residents of the area. But the challenges they face are peculiar to them as they struggle to cope with life as a settled community, different yet part of a wider group. The current leader of the coastal Vedas is Nalathambi Velayadan.
ஆனால் வந்து பிரதானமான வாழ்வாரம் எண்ணக்குள்ளே வந்து ஏற்கனவே நாங்கள் செய்து கொண்டிருந்தது வந்து தேம்பட்டுவோம். ஆனால் தேம்பட்ட போகிற நிலையில் இப்போ வந்து இன்னும் ஒரு பிரச்சனையான ஒரு கட்டம் ஒன்று எங்களுக்கு ஏற்பட்டிருக்குது. என்ன காரணம்னா காடு அழிஞ்சு போயிடுச்சு. காடு அழிஞ்சதால் வந்து எங்களோட தேன் உற்பத்தியும் வந்து குறைவாக இருக்குது. இந்த காரணத்தில் வந்து அதிலிருந்து எங்களுக்கு பெருசான ஒரு தொழிலை செய்கிற மாதிரி இல்லை. அது அடுத்தது ரெண்டாவதாக நாங்கள் மீன் பிடிக்கிறோம், அது ஒரு தொழிலாக செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். அடுத்தது விவசாயம், இந்த வீட்டு தோட்டம் ஒன்று நாங்கள் சரியான முறைக்கு வந்து நாங்கள் செய்து வருவமா இருந்தால் எங்களோட வாழ்வாதாரத்தை முன்னெடுக்கக்கூடியான ஒரு இது ஒன்று எங்களுக்கு தோன்றும்.
The coastal Vedas face a similar dilemma to indigenous groups around the world. The onslaught of modernization and change and the conflict between generations. Their situation is worsened by the fact that they are also among a war-affected community, recovering from decades of violence and injustice. The choices they make about custom and tradition must be their own. but they do need outside assistance to move away from being a forgotten and marginalized group to become a distinct but accepted segment of the population of Eastern Sri Lanka that enjoys the same rights and recognition as the rest of the community.